Oh, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the West Ham Late Late. Sorry, I'm late because it is the late late. I've been out, so I've had a drink or two. I hope you can hear me and I'm not on mute. And I thought, well, I've not been on for a while, and I've kind of kept away from doing any videos, etc. As you all know, I went on holiday, and I found that an opportunity for me to just sit back and be a fan again, if that makes sense. I mean, I'm a fan, obviously, but just to look at West Ham for the last sort of few weeks, last month or so, from a fan's perspective, without worrying about having to do a show and having to sort of talk about West Ham online and stuff like that. Oh, that's Sushi. Say hello to Sushi. You all right there, Sushi? Are you being chased by the cat? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I've been away, and it's a reflection, I guess, on what it's about to be a fan. And I guess the title of the show tonight is what a time to be a Hammers fan. And sometimes you just have to sit back and you just have to enjoy what's going on without worrying about having to report on a game, and without worrying about talking about players and what's going on off the pitch and what's going on off the pitch and all that sort of stuff. And I won't lie to you, I've massively enjoyed it. I've massively enjoyed just going to a game, watching the team play, enjoying the performances, and being a fan. And it's been wonderful. And of course, West Ham have been delivering, and boy, have they been delivering with aplomb. What is it? The last four games, four clean sheets, four wins, and all that sort of stuff in all competitions. And I'm going to stick to what I said earlier on in the season, that I genuinely think we're going to win something. I genuinely think this is going to be our season where we're going to have silverware, and I think it's been a long time coming. And I've enjoyed just being a fan. I've enjoyed just going to the supporters club, meeting up with people, having a drink, talking about West Ham on a social level. I did a cameo appearance at the weekend. I think it was after the Tottenham game or whatever. Um, but I kind of enjoyed just doing just that and nothing else. But I'm back. I'm sure you haven't missed me, because I know Anton and Russ have been doing a hell of a lot of shows, and really enjoyable stuff. All the interviews that Russ was did with that golfer. Can't remember his name. Billy, someone. I'm not going to pronounce his name properly, so don't expect me to do so. Anton's being running all the dailies and the previews and the reviews, and the lads have done great. But I'm back. I probably will do a Monday night show, as I because it's been a month since I've done that, and I just wanted to reflect. Now that I've had the opportunity to sit back and watch West Ham, and not have to worry about a script and not have to worry about a show, I can look at it and reflect and go, "What a fantastic time it is!" As you all know, to be a West Ham fan, how fantastic it is to be looking at the team and just admiring what's happening, admiring David Moyes, admiring each. Yeah, yeah, I am long dark, I know. Admiring what's been going on, and looking at players and picking out some specific players and going, wow, you know what? They're better than I even thought. Now, it's just a reflection, but I'm going to talk about one or two players. I'm going to talk about. Have I put up a? I haven't, have I? Yes, I have. I'm going to talk about Ben Johnson initially. Now, I recall um, last season when Ben Johnson was primarily playing, covering at left back, and reading comments from certain fans around, around West Ham networks, etc., and people going how shit he was, and how how they just couldn't believe that Johnson could even make the first team, and he shouldn't even be picked, and we should just let him go and all that sort of stuff. And I remember saying, when you see Ben Johnson playing in his rightful position as right back, you're going to see what a decent player he is. And now look at everyone's going, how decent he is, singing his praises, etc. And for a young boy who has been asked to play primarily out of position for most of the games that he's played for West Ham so far, to actually see him come and prove everybody wrong is fantastic. And Sufal, we a fantastic right back that we've got. We've extended his improved his contract, etc. Being out injured, Ben Johnson has come in and he's shown everybody what a talent he really is, and I'm really really pleased for him. Is a Diop another player? Another much maligned player. People talking about what a waste of money he was, and so on and so forth. He's just made 100 appearances for West Ham, and who's to say that Diop would have shown the skill and the talent that he's finally demonstrating? Another player, much maligned. We have a habit as fans, don't we? We have a habit as fans about talking the player up and then slating him off. The first opportunity we get when they're not doing as well as we expect. And Diop, has proven to be a fantastic player for us, and he's certainly going to be even more prominent as this season goes on, and even more prominent throughout his West Ham career. And I'm really pleased. And when we talk about young players, Ben Johnson being one, I talked about him recently, didn't I? A couple of months back, Divin Mumbama, and talking about when he turned 17, West Ham were desperate to sign him on a permanent contract, and we did it, or on a professional contract, should I say? And we did it. Look out for this young lad. I don't have his stats. I haven't done a lot of research in the shows over the past few weeks, so I won't tell you that I know how many goals he scored, etc., etc. But I know he's just come back from injury and he's banging the goals in left, right, and centre. If he hasn't already started playing for the under 23s, he'll soon be doing so. And don't be surprised if you see a Mumbama making the bench for a couple of games, if not this season, certainly for next season. And I know we have a lot of false dawns when it comes to young players, but I think we've got a fantastic crop of young players coming through. We've talked about them quite a few times before. Jamal Baptiste, Ajibola Alese, Dan Chester's made the bench the other, even got his debut the other week, and Mubama is going to be the next one. And I know it's easy for us to go look out for this player and look out for that player, but West Ham United went to great lengths to make sure that they were signing this player on his first professional contract, and long may it rain. Now the season just gets better, doesn't it? Mark Noble. I mean, look at the game that we played the other night against Man City. I was there. Was I enjoying it? I kind of was. Well, I got there late because I took my daughter with me for the first time. I think in something like 3 seasons. I turned around to her the other day and went, "You fancy going to a game? I've still got your season ticket." And she went, "Yeah." I fell over, but I thought, what? She actually said yes. She must have had nothing better to do on the day. I took her along. It wasn't the most exciting game, because youngsters, they want to see goals scored, etc. But when the penalties came, she was glued to that pitch. And Mark Noble came up, after missing the penalty against Man United earlier in the season, and proved to us, what a professional he was. You know, Scored that penalty and got us going, didn't he? And every penalty that was taken just was perfect, ideal. And one player that stepped up, and we thought, oh, here we go, was Craig Dawson. There was a hush in the stadium. Dawson stepped up, and we were like, oh. But didn't he score a fantastic penalty as well? We're through to the quarterfinals. Silverware is, I mean, I don't want to tempt fate, but silverware is on its way. And I just think, as a West Ham fan, you've got to enjoy the moment. You've got to enjoy what's happening at the moment, and just feel that we're on the cusp of something great at the club. We're on the cusp of doing something absolutely fantastic. For all the young fans who haven't seen us lift a trophy. I'm lucky enough. I'm old enough to have seen us lift a couple of trophies. But there's a lot of young fans that are going, West Ham, we know we can be good, etc. Wouldn't it be wonderful to lift a trophy this season? And I think it's definitely coming. And of course, more things off the pitch are turning up. This chap, Krasinski, or whatever you want to pronounce him, from the Czech Republic. All of a sudden, if you recall all the hoo-ha about PAI and what West Ham and the owners saying, we'll never sell to them. We'll never sell to them. Clearly, because there was something else in the pipeline, wasn't there? There was this chap lurking around, ready to make his move. What is it? A 27% stake in the club, which is, given that it's been evaluated at 600 mil, means that he is injecting, or is about to inject, 180 million pounds into the club, with a view to potentially becoming the major stakeholder in the club over time. 180 million pounds will wipe out our debt. We are about 150, 140, 150 million pound in debt at the moment because of COVID and all that sort of stuff. And his injection of money, well, basically, I mean, I don't know how the owners are gonna use that money, but buying a 27% stake in the club, 180 million pounds. I think let's get his name up again. Krasinski is going to have an awful lot to say about how it's going to be spent. Are we going to buy players in the January transfer window? Are we going to just clear the debt and just not worry about getting players in? I don't know. I don't know. But it's exciting times. Now, there isn't this hoo-ha about Krasinski as much as there was with PAI. I mean, we all know, the PR campaign that they started off at was just shit, and they were awful, and they started where they finished. They were shit from the start, and they were shit at the end. And the owner of PAI even had the audacity to turn around and say, "Well, I hope that's done something positive with West Ham United for the future." What positives were there apart from him wasting the West Ham fans' time and the club's time as well? But this guy looks a little bit different, doesn't he? He looks like he might be the real deal. If it happens, if it comes off, then we've got a major stakeholder in West Ham United. He's worth £4 billion. And now a lot of people have been talking about Sparta Prague. Apparently, since he's bought Sparta Prague, they haven't been doing that well. Be careful. Apparently, he may not be as a great an investor as we'd all like to think. Well, you know what? I have more faith in someone like him coming in and potentially being a stakeholder and injecting some money into the club than PAI, who just talked an awful lot of bollocks for an awful long time. Um, Now, what else? Well, I'm going to talk about the player that is making me. Well, he's becoming my favourite. I mean, there's a lot. There are a lot of players. You could talk about Fabianski. We're talking about him. Having an extra year on top. I think the reason why we might be extending it is because we might be looking at bringing Sam Johnston in. Now, I know Areola, he had his best game against Man City the other day. He really proved what a very, very good goalkeeper he is. But Johnston, if he doesn't end up signing for anyone else, will come in on a free. Johnston will still cost, Areola will still cost us quite a bit of money. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I just wonder, maybe Fabianski signing another year means that maybe Areola's contract won't be made permanent, and perhaps Johnson comes in as number one with Fabianski as a 1 year extension as a backup. I don't know. I'm only speculating. What else? Soufal we've mentioned. He's had a few niggles, etc. Our centre back players: Dawson, Diop, Ogbonna, and Zuma. I mean, uh, now we know why David Moyes took an awful long time to buy a player and decided that he was going to spend an awful lot of money on Zuma above anyone else. He's absolutely worth every penny that we've spent on him, isn't he? Fantastic. Creswell, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Creswell. Does someone inject him with some kind of like steroids or something? Because he keeps going and going and going. I kept saying to myself, Creswell in the cup games, in the Europa League, etc. He's got to be rested. He's playing game after game after game after game. Now, if there's an area that we need to, if that there is money in the January transfer window, if there's one area that we need to sort of look at maybe covering, it is left back. But let's not forget, I mentioned him earlier, Ben Johnson. He can play at right back. He can play at left back. Fredericks, before he got his injury, that's the unfortunate thing with Fredericks, can still cover at right back. He's kind of proven it in the earlier games this season. But left back would be a nice, only not because I think Creswell needs to go, but I'm just praying that Creswell will get through a whole season without getting any major injuries. And it's a tall order, it's a tall task for him to play game after game after game. Other players are beginning to get rests here and there. Would be nice for Creswell to get the rest. So maybe in the January transfer window, we might see some action there. Now, what about the holding midfield? Well, we keep hearing about Declan and, oh, he's going to end up going to Man City and he's going to end up going to Man United because they really need him, and Chelsea and oh, bollocks. I've given up. When I look at the way Declan is playing and with a smile on his face, the guy's going nowhere. And if we actually do really well, I know we've said it before. I'm even wondering now. Even if we don't make Champions League next season, but we still have a very decent season, I think Declan might stay. And we're going to set a price that if anyone's going to pay it, you might let him go. But I think Declan might actually say he's playing. He knows that at the end of this season, Noble hangs up his boots. He will be captain of the team. I know he's captain now. But when Noble plays, Noble gets the armband. Um, Souček, he had a lull, and he's beginning to he's coming back to life again. I was actually really surprised that Souček played the whole game against Man City the other day. Fantastic. Krul, he's got COVID. Sure, hopefully he'll be back very soon. I want to see more of Krul. I'm sure we've got a very decent player there, and that it'll be nice to see him have a few more games. Vlasic. I think he's finding he's taking time, isn't he, to find his feet. Moyes is giving him the opportunity. He's playing him in the Euros, etc. He's playing in the Europa League. Sorry, he's playing in the cup games. I think he will come good. I think there's a lot of potential there, but maybe it's just taking a little bit longer for him to settle in. And then Ben Rama, fantastic. I mean, Ben Rama, Fornals, absolutely fantastic players, improving all the time, all the time. But if there's another area that I think we need to sort of, I don't know, it's been said many a time that we need to maybe look at in the January transfer window is, of course, the striker. Now, Antonio has surprised me. Antonio has become a proper striker. He doesn't have to be in the game except for the one opportunity. And if he scores from that, that's all you need. Now, the last couple of games when Antonio's been playing, I've been going, oh, he's like, I think we need to take him off. I think we need to take him off. He's just not showing up. He's not getting in the game. What's he doing? He's just not, he's not getting involved. But against Spurs, you only need one chance. And he's become what we would call a typical poacher kind of striker. I didn't realize this, but apparently every Antonio goal has been scored in the box. I didn't realise. But every goal he scored for West Ham has apparently been scored in the box. That's proper poacher. That's proper poacher. And but it'd be nice, to get a bit of backup for him as well. But the player I really want to talk about, who for me is becoming, I mean, he's a prime candidate for early Hammer of the Year for me, and that's Jarrod Bowen. Jarrod Bowen for me improves every game he plays. The energy this man has, the actual drive, the way, and I know he needs a bit more of an end product. I know that, but his energy is just superb. Declan, we see his energy. He's absolutely superb, etc. But what I see in Jarrod Bowen, when we talk about players when they're on the ball, you get a little bit excited. That's what I'm getting with Bowen at the moment. Every time he picks the ball up, he's just going to drive forward. He's going to drive forward. He wants to make things happen. He's got skill and abundance, and I love him. For me, he's my early Hammer of the Year candidate. And it's just great sitting back, reflecting, talking to mates at the supporters club during the game, etc., about West Ham, and just enjoying what is happening is just absolutely superb. And I've loved it. I won't deny. Have I missed doing a show? In a way, yeah. But I kind of also missed being that fan, just going to a game and watching and enjoying and indulging and getting involved in the atmosphere and going to an away game and getting involved there as well. I miss that too. And maybe sometimes when you do things like this, it kind of sometimes takes it away a little bit, because all I'm thinking about is I need to research the show. I need to put images together. I need to get stories up, etc., etc. And sometimes what I was doing in the past, I was at a game and I was making notes and going, right, I need to mention this and I need to mention that and I need to do this and I need to do that. But I kind of decided to just back off for a while. And I won't deny, I absolutely fucking loved it. Anyway, that's me just going on about shit. Right, let's see who's in the chat and let's say hello to a few people. I'll scroll right up. Good evening, Sean, mate. I've sent you an email. I don't know if you replied yet. I've not been checking them today, but it's all systems go, fresh fielder. So, I mean, no worries if what we discuss can't happen, but let me know. Or if you have already, I'll catch up on the email later. Good evening, Yanka. I hope you're well, mate. Dabs, Stel, the last time you uploaded, you said there will be a lot more content now that the international break has started. Yeah, I didn't say I was going to do it, but yeah. Good evening, long dark, late. I hope you're still awake, mate. Good evening to you, Neil. I hope you're well. Oh, Neil, you've just reminded me of something. Now, the other day, after the Man City game, I came on whilst the review was happening, and I made a few comments about players, and I was talked about. I thought how Areola was great, and other players did really well, etc. And I suggested, and a lot of people didn't agree with me. The reason why Neil has reminded me is because Neil agreed with me. I suggested that Masuaku was just now, all right, look, let's put this in perspective. His first game back for a long time. I get that after having knee surgery, etc. And it does take time to get back into it, etc., etc. But the reason why I was a little bit upset with Masuaku's performance against Man City, Yarmolenko's performance against Man City, and a little bit about Vlasic's performance against Man City is because what you need from these players is you need them to be able to do a job in order for other players to get the rest that they need. And the three players that came off on the 60th minute or whenever it was Yarmolenko, Vlasic, and Masuaku. And on came Fornals, Bowen, Benrahma. Now, for me, if you're going to have a squad, you expect your players, and what's happened at West Ham, what David Moyes has done at West Ham is he's got players to perform at a certain level, and it's evidence when a player doesn't hit that level that they stand out. So for me, Yarmolenko, he tried hard, but it's evident now, and it has been for a lot of fans, and I've been a Yarmolenko fan, that he's just never going to get to the level that we want the whole squad to be at. Vlasic, I've just mentioned him. I think Vlasic will get there. I think, we look at what happened with Benrahma and various other players that have joined West Ham in Moyes' era, taking time, etc. Some players take a bit longer than others. I think Vlasic will get there. He's young enough. He's good enough. He's got the skill. I think Moyes will mould him into what he wants him to be. Masuaku is a completely different sub. Now, I know people are going to go, you've got a downer on him. You've always had a downer on him. The reason why I have is because Masuaku hasn't just been with West Ham for a season or two. Masuaku's been with us for 5 seasons now, 5 or 6 seasons, something like that. You look at his stats. That's all I ask you guys to do. Don't take my moan for it. You go out and research his stats and you come back and tell me how many goals has he scored and how many goals has he created? How many chances has he created? And I think you'll be surprised at just how few he's created, just how few, the very few assists he's had in his whole career at West Ham United. Everybody says, well, Masuaku's better going forward than he is defending. Agreed. He is better at going forward. But when you have a player that goes forward rather than defends, you expect an end product from him. And unfortunately, that's why I have my downer on Masuaku. It's not, I'm just picking on an individual player. I'm looking at a player and going, give me the stats to evidence why you all believe he's such a good player. And I did a show about a year ago, year and a half ago, something like that, I compared Masuaku and Creswell. And even at that time, like for like, on average, Creswell still stood out. Number of goals scored, number of assists, etc. And that I know Masuaku's been injured. I understand that. But unfortunately, he doesn't have the end product. And that's a real shame. And so that reminded me when I saw your hello from Neil. James Bond, a leisurely time from Neil down under. Yeah, it must be afternoon for him or something. Having breakfast, good for you, mate. I just had last night's curry. Vinay, I knew it was going to be delayed, predictable. James Bond, how are you? Stel, bacon and eggs. I'm a cross on type. You're absolutely right. I am. Hostage Dre Stelchenko. Hello, everyone. Greetings from Kharkov in Eastern Ukraine. Really? Vinay, 4 clean sheets. When did that happen? I can't remember. We'll have to have a look at the history books. And Long Dart, 1960. Good evening, Adam. How are you, mate? I hope you're well. Apache, hello, mate. No cats to be fed. No, fed them just before I went online. All dishes to be washed. No, the missus is away, so I'll wash the dishes tomorrow. The word on the street is Stel's putting Halloween decorations up. No, I ain't doing that. Naki, hello, mate. I hope you're well. Gary, hello, mate. I'm from the opposite side of the state. Where are you again, mate? I've forgotten. I've been away for so long. I've forgotten where everyone is. Vinay, West Ham will win 2 cups this season. Well, let's just win one at the very, very least. Apache, yeah, it's always still time. Mark R, welcome back. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. We are indeed massive. Absolutely. Yeah, Apache, it definitely is me, mate. PCADs. So Stel did finally get out of Turkish prison. Oh, I was on holiday, of course. Well, if the other half had her way, we'd be on holiday every month. I went to Cyprus. Now I know my family's from Cyprus and all that, but trust me, if there's a place you've not been to and you want to go to Cyprus. We left that country when was it? When did we come back? 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. 26 degrees, and people were putting their jackets on in the evening because it was 16 degrees in the evening. Fuck me. 16 degrees is fucking summer over here, isn't it? Neil down under, hello to you, mate. 9:50 a.m. It's morning for you. Helen, hello. Hello, Helen. I hope you're well. Sean, never seen Del Winton and Daniel Kretinsky in the same room. Oh, interesting. James Farmer, hello, mate. I hope you're well. GP, I reckon this must be the best time after 1985 and maybe that 60s squad. 1985 was special. Are we going to achieve? We're 4th. Where will we finish in the league? It's going to be an interesting season because do you remember we had those two defeats against Man United and Brentford, and doom and gloom was coming out. We haven't got the squad. We haven't got the strength in depth. We haven't got this. We haven't got that. Here we go. We knew it was a one-season wonder, etc., etc., etc. Come on, people, be calm. This is a new West Ham. This is the new way of the way, support. It's different. It's different. It feels different. It is different. I've gone through bad times. Some of you, will be old enough to remember the bad times as well as the good times. Been relegated. We've won cups and all that sort of stuff. But it feels, the whole vibe about the club at the moment feels very, very, very different. Very different. Sharky, thank you, mate. Much appreciated. Patrick, thank you as well. Much appreciated. Thank you, Sean. And I just saw your email flash up, so thank you for that. English Yardy, my brother from another mother. Hello, sir. Missed you, mate. Welcome back. Thank you, English Yardy. I hope you're well, mate, and thank you for joining us. Hammerette, how are you? Great to see you too. Thank you for joining. David M, welcome back. Thank you, mate. What a time to be a Hammers fan. What a time indeed. What an atmosphere at the London Stadium. Now, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. The atmosphere at the London Stadium. It's a shit stadium. It's not a football stadium. It will never be like the Bowling. I've been at the Bowling where you can hear a fucking pin drop, and trust me, that wasn't pleasant. And it happened. It absolutely happened. And I tell you what, though, this season, Even the cup game against Man City, where there are a lot of fans there that aren't a lot, because there were a lot of sort of regular season ticket holders weren't making it, and I looked around me. There's an awful lot of strangers around, West Ham fans, which is good, and but even them. There was a family in front of me. I mean, I don't actually know who they were supporting. They could have been supporting Man City. I'm not really sure. They didn't wear any colours. Good one, well done. But but you could see that especially when it got to penalties, the fucking place was rocking, absolutely rocking. There's been games this season where we've gone there and the vibe has been great against Spurs, rocking from start to finish. And it's that thing, isn't it? It's if there's something to cheer on about on the pitch, it's going to be felt in the stadium, in the crowd, and vice versa. And the crowd cheering on are going to drive the team on, and it's a relationship, isn't it? It's that relationship. If the crowd's quiet, it affects the players. Whereas this season and the tail end of last season, it's been superb. It's been absolutely superb. Buzzing. Absolutely buzzing, David. GP, Stel, the star like Messi, Anton, and Russ. Stel is the star of the show like Messi, Anton, and Russ are like Socek and Rice. That's unfair on Socek and Rice. Daniela, we all need a break from football at times. We absolutely do. We absolutely do. I hope you're well, Daniela. Epic. Hello, mate. Let's hope this Czech geezer doesn't ruin it. Well, I'm going to look a bit more. I know Anton did a daily. I need to catch up, and I need to sort of read about this guy and see if he's the real deal. Jazza, good evening to you. Do you think Rice can get better than the great George Nelson? Yes. Declan, I mean, he's a driving force. Now, I read somewhere, I think he was on if any of you on Facebook and you haven't joined yet, Claret and Booze, join the Claret and Booze Facebook group. Really nice little group, really nice buzz about it there, etc. We're going to have a couple of lads on the late in I think next week or the week after. I can't remember when. And there was a comment made about Declan, give him what he wants and pay him 300 grand a week if we have to. Without him, we're not going to be anything, etc. What David Moyes is doing is he's building a squad. I know Declan is pivotal. I might deny that, but he's building a squad so that we can sustain, someone like Declan not being around, or someone like Socek going, or someone like Bowen going. What Moyes wants to do, he wants that churn. He wants to bring in players that are as good as the players that are here, so that if and when we do sell a player like Declan, we won't feel the pain so much. But Declan, he's pivotal. He's fantastic. But we must get players that are on that level. You know what I said earlier about raising the bar, about players playing to a certain level? Moyes is doing that. He's saying, this is the bar. This is where I want you all to be. This is what you've got to achieve. And then you'll have a squad of 22 players that it doesn't matter who plays. They come in, they do a job, and the next player comes in, etc. And that's what he's doing. Now, I'm not suggesting for a minute that we've got to get rid of Declan or etc. But I think I've got a bit of a problem with just giving players what they want. The reason why football has gotten into a state in other countries is because clubs have given players what they want, giving them £500,000 a week, and that nonsense, absolute nonsense, buying players for like silly money, etc. And money runs out in the end. There's no two ways about it. The Premier League is still doing okay, but the money that comes in from TV rights may not. The next round of negotiation. I know they've extended the deal for another season or so, but the next round of negotiations could be pretty tough on the Premier League. TV money is not endless. Even that, I know it's based on advertising, etc., etc. But we've got to be careful, haven't we? I'm not saying that Declan doesn't deserve to be given a high wage. I think he does. But, all this talk about 200 grand a week and 220 grand a week, etc. Where does it stop? Where does it stop? But he's fantastic. Adam Cook. A new 3 or 4 year contract, as far as I'm concerned. What a player, will only get better. Yeah. Are you talking about Declan? If you are, it's not so much about. He's already got a contract for another 3 years. It's trying to pin him down, isn't it? Trying to give him a better deal. But what's a contract? A player can still renege on the contract. They can still hand in transfer requests, etc., etc. Brooke Bonds, not according to David Gold. I don't know. Sorry, that comment was 12:25, about half an hour ago. So my apologies, Brooke Bonds. I don't know what that's referring to. So that's my fault. for not going to the comments sooner. Naki, Sonny Perkins, another one to watch. Oh yes, Mumbama. Watch out for him. Look, if you guys don't watch the under 23 games, watch the under 23 games, watch the academy games, because there's some quality there. Mark R, great interview with Mubama on the West Ham website. I know I haven't seen it yet, but I will take a look. Dabs, correction. The reason Stel didn't like Wednesday games was because Masuaku was on the pitch. No, look, I know. I know I do. I do put him down a lot. I know that. I admit it. I'm not. I don't deny I do put him down a lot. But I think I have valid reasons to do so. And I will redo the show and give you the stats on Masuaku to demonstrate why he's just not done it for West Ham for me. We've had players there for lesser times doing more, and they get slated. And yet Masuaku, for some reason, has got this icon status amongst fans, and I don't really quite understand. I really don't understand. Anyway, Vinay. Noble makes some great passes, such as the long pass to Creswell. Noble, good last season. There is talk, apparently. There was some talk, apparently, that if we make the champion, Billy, I think Billy Horschel said it in the interview with Russ. If we make Champions League, do you think maybe Declan Noble might give us one more year so he can play in the Champions League? I wouldn't deny him that. I wouldn't deny him that at all. Naki, Dawson put his foot through. He sure did for the penalty. Fucking great that was. Fucking great. GP. Would be good if you could bring in a few more Socheks and Sufals. Well, let's see what this check has to bring. An open checkbook, first of all. Adam. But the thing is, though, Moyes doesn't spend money. Even if he has got money to spend, Moyes doesn't bloody well spend it, does he? Is it because he's not got enough money to spend? We could have got a striker in on loan if he wanted to, but Moyes just doesn't spend the money. Adam, we're hard to beat, and every player plays for the shirt. I've been waiting for this since the 80s. Yes, mate. It's a long time, isn't it? Apache, definitely a friendly takeover. It's Chandler from Markar. Double ownership of clubs could affect us in Europe. A possible ban? I don't see that. I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there are double ownerships of other clubs around Europe. Correct me if I'm wrong in that, but I think it does happen. I think it does happen. Freshfielder, Sean, it's one person with bundles of his own money that ticks the first box. There you go. Schmiegel, hello, mate. Hi, Stel. Hope all is well. All good, mate. Definitely exciting things going on at West Ham at the moment. Mate, pinch yourselves, people. Pinch yourselves hard. And after you've done that, pinch the other arm as well. It's absolutely amazing. Cock a hoop with it. Salah, good evening, mate. Look at player like Zorgan, Charleroi from Belgium, and Amura Suisse. Thank you, Salah. Didn't know either of those names. Good evening to you, Cyber. I hope you're well, Mohammed. Schmiegel, Areola will be number one sooner or later. Will he, though? I thought that too. But what do you think of my thoughts about maybe Johnston coming in on a free, and then with talk about Fabianski maybe signing an extended another year? Maybe those will be the two goalies. I like Areola. He's settled. He's had his bet. He had an absolutely superb game against Man City. Kept us in it. Absolutely superb, and demonstrated why he's such a good keeper. Dabs under 23s are second in their league, mate. And I was talking about them last season. They just got through from being relegated from Premier League 2, Division 1, and good on them. They learned from that, and they've gone from strength to strength. Obviously, we've strengthened. Ekwa in central midfield, Oko Flex, etc. Baptiste is, another year of experience. Alaise, another year of experience. Harrison Ashby's in there. Dan Chester's, etc. They're a great little squad. Absolutely fantastic, and they deserve to be second in their league at the moment. Andy, good evening, or is it morning? It's definitely morning. I hope you're all well, whenever it is. Andy, thank you for joining, mate. Thank you, Gary. Welcome back. Salah again, top player. Yep, thank you. Mentioned that already. Schmiegel, Ben Johnson is definitely improving. I really like Fredericks. Even Fredericks. Ryan Fredericks before he got injured. At the beginning of the season, I said there were a few players that might be quite prominent this season. And I suggested if they could stay fit Yarmolenko and Fredericks. Fredericks has proven it. Let's hope he's back soon. Yarmolenko, I want to see more from him. I want to see more. Daniela, Dabs, yes, the under 23s are doing great. Even the girls are winning. Yes, and Daniela, we've been talking about. You'll be happy to hear. We might start, or I might start doing a separate show for the specifically for the under 23s academy and ladies teams. So maybe have it as another show in the week just to talk about those teams. So look out for that. If you're interested in the under 23s and the ladies football, etc., look out for that. Hosted dry. Need to replace Moyes with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Moyes is winning too many games. Jordan, our right back position is stacked. It is. It's left back that we need now. Dabs, Man United are more interested in Calvin Phillips. Let them be interested in whoever they want. Don't care. I'm kind of a bit bored with Declan Rice transfer stories all the time, all the time. Dabs on West Ham Instagram today, they posted a picture of him saying he is now back. Is that Kroll? Fantastic. Schmiegel, Kroll, sideshow, but give him a chance, mate. Give him a chance. Moses, good evening to you. I want Lacazette and James Maddison at West Ham. Do you know what? I would take them. Um, depends on what price, really. Depends on what price. GP, I think even without Deck, we can do well. I trust Moyes with signings. Absolutely. Good evening to you, WHU. You just woken up, mate. God, you're an hour late. I hope you're well. Lawrence Watkins. Hello, everyone from Auburn, Alabama. Welcome, mate. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're well. Wonderful to have you from overseas. Vinay, West Ham like a bored egg, hard to beat, and Antonio's a poacher. Long Dark, Bowen is a workhorse. I think he's becoming more than just a workhorse. Fantastic for me. He's absolutely fantastic. Love what he's doing. Long Dark, Fornals Bowen, the work rate is intense. Absolutely agree. Schmiegel, we have to keep hold of Bowen. Feel like a lot of clubs are going to come in for him in January. There may be interest for Bowen. I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be a lot of interest for a lot of our players. But we're on the cusp of something. Why would they want to go and sit on Liverpool's bench or some other team's bench when they could be first team players? Bowen loves West Ham. Oh, look at the way he's playing. He's with aplomb. He looks like he's really relishing his time. On and off the pitch. GP, Bowen may never get 15 goals a season, but he makes things happen. I totally agree. Lawrence Ben Johnson is my guy. Absolutely. Wonderful player. Improving all the time. Vinay, Bowen will improve his finishing. He's much better than this time last year. He has made a lot of progress. I totally agree. Hostage dry, Masuaku. I won't deny he did he did all right, but there you go. Crazy Cole, how are you? Here for a midnight snack news. I hope you're well, mate. Thank you for joining. Long Dark Katuaku. Where are they? They're running around like loons. Cats, night people. They sleep all effing day, and then when you're about to go to bed, they get up and run around. Les McDonald, hello, mate. When watching the penalty kick, did anyone else get visions of the same thing happening in Oh, mate, don't. As I keep saying, correct me if I'm wrong, the final is on the 18th of May, if I'm correct in thinking that. The day of my 60th birthday, I'm going to be in Seville watching West Ham win the Europa League trophy. I promise you, we're going to Seville and we're going to win. We are going to win. We're going to win a trophy, and I wouldn't mind that one. James Bond. The quintuple is still on for those of us who respect the bet. Mate, you know what? Respect every cup competition, because Man City, they what they won it 4 times in a row or whatever. You respect every competition you're in and you give it your best. And it's fantastic to see what we've been doing in the whatever cup it's called now, the Copacabana Cup or whatever. Absolutely fantastic. Andy, looking forward to the game on Sunday. I'm going. If anyone's going to Villa, I'll be there. So if you see me, lolling around, come over and say hello. And but do tell me who you are. I keep getting people coming up going, Stel, how are you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. You are. So if anyone's going, do come and say hi and tell me who you are. Vinay, Masuaka and Yamo did a job. They provided a threat. Thank you for that, Vinay. Will Bex, hello, mate. Evening, Stel. Hope you're well. I'm very well. Stel, what do you make of certain channels literally writing off Vlasic? I think it's too soon. Far too early to say. There were fans writing off Ben Rama last season, and look what he's turning out to do this season. It's far too soon to say. You've got to give a player time. And people go, well, he played at Everton. He played at Everton at the age of 19, and as he said, he was played out of position. He's not a wide player. He's primarily a central attack midfield player rather than that wide. You've got to give him time. And if it doesn't work out by the end of the season, then you give him a bit more time at the beginning of next season. And if then it doesn't happen, then you start talking about, well, what next? And for me, I think he's got the skill. He's settling in. It's a different role that Moyes wants him to play. Let's not forget, when David Moyes arrived for the second time at West Ham United, who was the first player he dropped? Fornals. And Fornals was in form at the time. He dropped him and brought back in Lanzini into the first team until he realised that Lanzini wasn't quite the player that he had when Moyes was at the club the first time round. And what Moyes has got now, he's got the opportunity to give. Can you two stop? What Moyes has now got the opportunity to do is give Vlasic the time in the cup competitions. We haven't had the like the Europa League and the Betway Cup and all that sort of stuff in the past. Now he's got the opportunity to give Vlasic that time, and I think it's too soon. Will, I think it's far too soon to write him off. Lawrence, you said it. I agree. Masuaku is not good enough. Long Dark, Vlasic looks good. I think he does. My opinion on Yarmo, bye. I think Crazy Cole, I think, it would not surprise me if Yarmolenko went and maybe on a next to nothing in the January window. And people are going, well, who will pay his fee? Well, if you get him for nothing, you'll be able to afford to pay him his 100 grand a week, 115 grand a week, etc. GP. B and I agreed. I remember when our subs bench had some Massey Abu and Rebnap got for 500,000. James Farmer, both Mass and Yama need to be moved on. Play the youngsters instead. There you go. I'm glad one or two others agree with me. Long Dark agree. I think he has plenty of potential. That was Vlasic. Vinay, Masuaku can move the ball forward and then pass the ball. Job done. Does not have to score. Well, no, he does. I'm sorry, Vinay, mate. He does have to do more than that. There were a couple of occasions in the game on Wednesday when what Masuaku tends to do is he tends to run into a cul-de-sac, and he tends to make the wrong decisions. And when he gets the ball, when he should be crossing, he doesn't. He tries to take another player on and he loses it, or he tries to take a shot when he's not in the right position to take a shot. And then when he does cross it, there's no one in the fucking box, so his decision making sometimes leaves a lot to be decided. We talk about, people have been talking about Bowen and Fornals doing that, end product, slating them off, but yet they're improving. And look how immensely they've improved. And they've been playing for West Ham far fewer years than Masuaku has. And I'm sorry to say, what role does Masuaku play? If he plays if he plays in defence and people are saying he's not good enough, then you play him further forward. If you play him further forward, you expect an end result. He needs to, if he could pass the bloody ball to another one of our players, I'll go fair enough. You can't even do that sometimes. Here you see, I didn't want to go into a Masuaku sulk, but there you go. Will, is Yarmo out of contract this season? At the end of this season, yes, he is. Andy, Yarmo just can't put the effort in for 90 minutes. He's got loads of talent, can't do what's needed in modern day football. It's really weird, isn't it? That, and people say, the Euros, look how great he was, etc. Different pace, different style, etc. Just a shame that the Premier League. And I loved, and when we signed Yarmolenko in his first few games in the season, in the first season he was with us, and then he got injured, and then his first few games in the second season, and then he got injured. But those few games, he showed so much potential, and I thought, this guy, if kept fit, will be fantastic. But this is the season where he's fit, but unfortunately, just not delivering, not delivering. Adam, all the player played well. The subs were planned and give them time. I've seen Vlasic and he will come good. I agree. Jordan, you disagree. I'm guessing you disagree about Masuaku. That's fair enough. Neil, Uh, as I said, I thought Masuaku is only effective in the middle third of the pitch. He is defensively weak and has no end product up front. Yeah, there you go. Will, I thought Masuaku played well against the Manx. Depends on what you think played well is. Vinay, Yamo had a shot on goal. It was blocked. Socek shot wide twice. It was one of those days. Even 500 million Man City did not score. We kept them at bay. We kept them at bay. Dabs. It was Masuaku's first game, and I do understand. I do agree with that. In a long time against a difficult team with other B team players around him, and for his first game, he was good. All right, fair enough. Um, Gary in Michigan, mate. Is it nice over there? You got nice weather, Gary? I bet it's pissing down with rain, isn't it, mate? I'm sorry. Long dark. Yep. Misses away yesterday's curry. There you go. Life of bachelor. Have I fed the cats? Yeah, I have. Yeah, that's good. Dino, yes, Stel. Good to see you, mate. Have you heard? What have I heard? What have I heard? Jordan, Vlasic was good. Yarmo worked, and Masuaku saw glimpses of his old self. What old self is that, Jordan? Have I heard? We are fucking massive. Absolutely. And boy, let's ride that wave, shall we? Neil Yarmolenko is ineffective all over the pitch. Actually worries me when he comes back to defend. Kieran, good evening to you, mate. Morning from Brisbane. 30, you bastard. Mind you, I can't complain. I was in Cyprus only a couple of weeks back and it was 26 degrees there. It was wonderful. Might start doing shows from over there. How about that? What if I just go to Cyprus and just stay there and do shows from over there? I'd be happy all the time. It'd be sunny all the time. You know, even their winter's like 12 degrees or something silly. You know, you wear a jacket and that's it. Anyway, Vinay, I can't say anything negative about players. They knocked out Man City. Job done by all that play. Yeah, that's absolutely fair. Long dart pitch invasion when we finish third was special. There was a little pitch invasion. This poor boy, when Ben Rama scored the winning goal, the winning penalty, he ran on. You could see he was an Algerian lad, and all he wanted to do was hug, Ben Rama. And the poor lad didn't get there. He slipped, and then the stewards caught him. What a shame! What a shame. Brad, hello, mate. You've missed absolutely nothing apart from the fact that I've just eaten my curry and fed the cats and I hope you're well. Replied and it's still that. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. I'll reply back tomorrow. Javi Hammer, hello to you. Great to have you back. Good evening from Devon. Good evening to you, mate. I hope you're well. Thank you for joining. Crazy Cole, I thought Anton locked you up under his. WHU Masuaku had good close control and ball skills and the ability to go past the player, but he does not know when to release a pass quickly or effectively enough in the final third. Thank you. Dino, this genuinely feels very Leicester, and we're even better than them. Premier League champions 21-22, West Ham United. Sounds good, eh? We are now, Dino. We are dreaming, aren't we, mate? Wouldn't it be fantastic? Hosty, great atmosphere at the stadium. Reminds me of the games from the Soviet era. I bet you've been as close to the Soviet Union as I have, mate. Long dark. I've been at the bowling and could see the pitch. Jonathan, I think it's hard for a West Ham to adjust to this new way. Winning, competing, and there was a moment in the Euro game when the camera zoomed out and we looked massive, and teams around Europe think the same. We are fucking massive. We're becoming a great team, and long may it rain. Long may it rain. Dino, agreed. This season, West Ham not scared of the traditional. And you know what I like actually about mentioning the top six? What I like about what's been happening this season is, if you remember when Moyes first came back for the second time, and he set himself up defensively, always against Chelsea and Liverpool, etc. He doesn't give a shit now, does he? He's going, bring it on. Bring it on. We're going to give you as good as we get. I know we don't have as much of the ball as we'd like to have against the likes of Man City, etc. But if they can't do anything with it, then we're being effective when we're not having the ball. And I love that. We're not just sitting back and inviting them on anymore, these teams. We're actually going to, we're going to take the game to them when we can. And I love that. Now I get why Moyes was doing what he was doing before, because we weren't in this position before. You know, he didn't have the squad. He didn't have the he didn't have that whole ethos about the club to be able to go out there and say to the players, "Go on, boys, go out and do it." Now he believes in the players. The players believe in him, and he's saying to them, "Go for it." You know, defend, of course. You know, it made me laugh. What's his name? Nuno, when he came out after the Spurs game, going, "Oh, they put many players behind the ball." Well, no shit, mate. It's called defending. That's what that's called. He was upset because we put fucking players behind the ball. No. If you put players behind the ball, you wouldn't have fucking lost, mate. You know, I couldn't believe it. I laughed when I read that comment. They put many players behind the ball. No. You're a coach. It's called defending, mate. Get with it. Anyway, yeah. And now we're not scared of the top six. We are all the traditional top six. Because we're going to be part of that top six. Might even be in the top four. We're playing so well, we might actually get more than 3 minutes on matchup. We'll never get that. You know what fucked me right off? You know, I read stories about the Man City game and about the Spurs game, and yet again, everyone talked about how the other teams didn't break us down. The other teams didn't do this. The other teams didn't do that. Hats off to Pep Guardiola, who came on and said, West Ham are a fantastic team. West Ham played really well. They deserved it, etc. etc. Hats off to him, because the newspapers won't do it. You know, the press, the social media, etc. It's all about how badly Spurs played. It's all about how Man City didn't take their chances, etc. etc. Nothing about how we contained them, how we hit them on the break. We took our chances, etc. etc. Nothing about that. It's all about the other teams. So hats off to Pep Guardiola, who gave us credit where we actually deserved it. GP, maybe Massa, maybe you're more useful as an impact. Yeah, that's good shout. Good shout. Maybe you would be. Daniela, yes, we need to lose the negativity at times. Had give Russ a bit of a telling off about it. Oh, did you tell Russ off? He'd probably like that though, Daniela. Schmiegel, unlimited supply of potato salad coming into the London Stadium. Vino, I do not fear anyone. Everyone looks beatable. Only 2 losses we've had this season were last season's winners. We're prime Barca in claret and blue. And you look at those 2 games, lost just at the last minute. Just at the last minute. Sean, Claret and Blues' YouTube is on 196 subscribers. Head over there and help them out. Head over there. Not yet. After this show. Thank you, Sean. All right. But no, absolutely. They're a nice bunch of lads over there. WHU. Agreed. GP. Hopefully will stay injury free from now on, and perhaps Moyes will get the best out of. Get the best out of who? Yarmo or Masuaku? What time is it? 12:52. Oh, I'm trying to catch up. Adam, it's Moyes, West Ham he's building, and you play hard or you don't play, will finish top 6 with a chance of getting 4th as Man United under Ole, a shit average Man United team. God, they were awful, weren't they, the other day? Let's jump a few, shall we? Schmiegel, just subscribe to come. Well done. Looks like a Raiders fan too. Probably. I don't know. My favourite NFL team. I don't know. Bad enough trying to follow who supports West Ham, let alone what NFL team they support. Daniela, pundits are coming out, say Rice should stay now. Oh, Jesus. You can't keep up, can you? Let's jump down. Mark Collins, get into top 4 this season, which we can do. Give Declan no reason to move. Absolutely agree. Lawrence, very important to talk when the chat comments makes sense. Yeah, if you mean me trying to, I should. Yeah, I try to keep. I should keep up a little bit quicker. Adam, if you support West Ham, you should watch all the under 23s, the under 21s, ladies, etc. etc. Absolutely. And like I said, I'll start bringing you a weekly show on those other teams very soon. Jonathan, I think the Carabao Cup uh, draw. It ain't far off actually, Dabs. You're absolutely right, Jonathan. I think this guy buying investment is just smelling a good return in a couple of years with a bigger buyer in 23, 24. Oh, good point. Yeah, didn't think of that. Aiden, Moyes does actually spend still. WHU is 7th in the spending since OGS took over. He does spend, but he's quite frugal. You know, I kind of joke that if you give David Moyes 150 million pounds as a budget, it will give you 100 million pound back. 150 to 100 million pound back. Let's scroll down. Who else have we got? I'm going to go down a bit. So WHU, apart from some great shot stopping from Areola, I like the way he shouts and organises our defence at free kicks and corners. Impressive against Man City. He had a very, very good game against Man City. I absolutely agree. Um, let's scroll down. Dabs. Stells tells his cats to stop. Cats, okay. Well, they listen. They've stopped running around. Got to train them, you see. You got to train them. Boston George, good evening to you. Benny Boy has always been beautiful moves, always had beautiful moves. Last season, they were sometimes over ambitious. This season, we're recognizing him for his proper finesse. Absolutely. Lawrence, what's your drink at the pitch? What's my drink at the pitch? When I go to games? Well, if pub doesn't serve decent ale, proper ale, then it's got to be spiced rum and coke. Yeah, nectar, nectar. Um, who else we got? Claret and Blues. Here we go. Here we go. Great to see you back. What a time to be a hammer. Absolutely. I've just bigged you up, lads. I've just bigged you up, and I hope you're well. What else we got? Steve Pearce. Absolutely right, Stel. Arthur was crap on Wednesday, and he's always been crap. Sadly, not even Moyes can make it a player. Go. There you go. Aidan, there are a lot of quality coaches at top level. Pep is quality coach and a quality. You know what? I really respect him for coming out and, like Nuno came out and went, well, we were the better team and they put too many players behind the ball and, I'm Spurs and I, expect more. And like Pep came out and went, well done, West Ham. That's what you want, you know. D.A. Crossman, hello, mate. Thank you for joining and thank you for the welcome back. Dabs, have you seen Antonio on YouTube series Wingmen? He has some interesting stories. I have not. I'll have to catch up with that as well. Got a lot of catching up to do. Adam, COVID was good for us in that when it started, it gave Moyes the chance for a new start and tell the players how he wants them to play going forward. You know what? In a strange sort of way, I think you're absolutely right. Lockdown kind of came at a good time for us. He really did. Stephen, miss you seeing Stel. Great to have you back. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you very much. DA, you're right, Stel. Why do these cretins in the media hate? I don't know why, but let them. Let them. That's it, people. I've done an hour. God, Dino Pep has pictures of David Moyes on his bedroom wall. Daniela, the City fan base was respectful as well. Good, good. We like that. We like that, and we'll be respectful back. Right, people. That's me done. It's nice to be back. I will not be. I will try. I'm going to the Villa game tomorrow because it's now Saturday. So tomorrow being Sunday, of course. I will try and maybe link up. I will try. I'm not going to promise. And I've got to think about doing Monday night show, and I've not done anything for it. So I've got to make sure, if I'm going to do a show, I've got to think, put a show together. I probably will be knocking around over the next few days or whatever. But if I'm not, then I'll be back at sometime soon. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Really appreciated. It's 1:25 on Saturday morning, and there's 111 of you mad enough to be watching me rant. By the way, before you all go, as you're going out, do hit that like button. It's really important for us as a channel. The more that you hit that like button, the better it is for us, and all that sort of stuff. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all your comments. Much appreciated. And well, if you've just woken up, I hope you have a good day. What time is it there? It's 1:25 a.m. here, Lawrence. 1:25 a.m. So if you're all just about to go to bed, have a really good night. If you've all just woken up, have a good breakfast. And I'm guessing there's somewhere in the world it's afternoon, maybe. So if you're having a great, if it's afternoon, have a great lunch. See you all very, very soon.